Welcome back. John Van Limbeek joining us from Abbott Wealth Management on this Wednesday. How are you doing today?
Doing great.
Good. Good. Yeah, we're talking about the importance of having a trust.
We are.
But how does that separate from a will? What's the difference?
Well, a will basically sets out, I mean, the will is it's a legal document as well as a trust, but it sets out really what do you want. If I don't have a trust, the will is there. So if I don't have enough assets, because you do need, you know, a certain amount of assets to make it cost effective for a trust. But a will everybody needs for sure.
Okay,
right?
so a trust is something you would find as one of the things in your will. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay,
exactly.
so it's one of the things that you would find in it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So say you do own a house or two or a piece of property at the lake and you want to make sure your furniture goes somewhere specifically. Is that when you get a trust?
The furniture and some of the smaller stuff is more of a will. It could be a will or could not be a will. But a trust is more of a document that basically sets out the rules that to be precisely followed in regards to how the trust document is set up. So if you set up a trust for your children, someone has to manage that trust. There has to be a trustee on that, and then they also, from that point in time too, they look at how much money the children can get. And at certain periods of time. It's more structured. So versus just giving, if something happens to me, versus just leaving them with an inheritance and them spending it at a day if they really wanted to. It says, hold on a second here, I don't want to do it that way. I want to spend it, this is my vision of this, and I want it spent like this.
Is this where the term trust fund babies comes from?
I don't know. I never heard that one.
I've heard it. I'm not one. Wish I was, but it's,
could be. Yes.
I just have heard of it where, you know, a person comes into a lot of money from somebody in the family, but is divided out over certain amounts of time, lump sums.
That's exactly what it is.
Sure.
You know, so you factors in the control of your estate or part of that estate that you deem to be under the trust. There's protection in there because it really allows the beneficiaries and or the creditors of your heirs to have some protection. Okay. So if it's in a trust, it's not really, it's for the most part creditor proof, if you think of it that way. Nothing's ever cut and dry, but it definitely leads a lot more protection to that. And privacy too. As soon as you do your will, that's a matter of public document, really. Right. And believe it or not, people can go down to the courthouse and pay money and get a copy of your probated will after you are dead.
Is that right?
For anybody in Canada. Why
is that?
Public document. Right.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, you just got to pay your fee. So people with, you know, that are definitely have an asset or that they want to more private, that they want to keep more private, even after they've passed, a trust is there. So I wouldn't say that's the number one reason. The first reason is really control, protection maybe against, you know, the children's creditors on the children or how that, if you have a disabled child, hugely powerful with a disabled child. You know, from a tax planning point of view, from a you know, just from him or her being able to manage that. So you have a lot of there's a very powerful tool. It's complicated, but it's we were talking with or I was talking to a client the other day about, now we're talking about the Vancouver house prices. Lots of you know, a large amount of money there. What happens after that? The net worth is in land, and when those people start passing away, what happens with that $1, $2, $5 million account? Not necessarily that people have given thought to. And yes, it's going to go. It's going to go to whoever it's going to go to. But lots of control issues, lots of privacy issues, lots of it doesn't do someone any good if you give a child $3 million from a sale of a house, and they don't know how to spend it or they don't know how to manage it. It can wreck them versus help them. Absolutely. So you have to, as a parent, you have to, or I believe you have to anyway, have some control over that for sure.
So it lays down the specifics to make sure.
It does lay down the specifics.
No stone is left unturned.
But you can't do it yourself. You need the lawyer, and you need your accountant involved, and just to make sure it's exactly what you want.
Okay. Out of time already. Our question of the week, we answered it in the first 5 seconds of the show, so we won't. What is a trust? Now we know. We have a better feel for it, but something you should definitely learn about. John, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
If you'd like to learn more about setting up a trust and making sure that your estate is well taken care of, information is on the screen. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.